Hello world, I'm Joey Arnold. Today we're going to talk about health, and we all want to know, how can we live forever? How can we find the fountain of youth? We want to be stronger, we want to think better, think faster. We want to do all those things that take care of ourselves, and it's very important. And the most important thing to take care of is spiritually, our souls, our spirits of who we are, and also emotionally and mentally, and also physically. And today I want to talk about our bodies and talk about how to take care of our bodies. Obviously, we gotta exercise, and we gotta sleep, and we gotta diet. Diet means eat. But it's like our schedule of what we eat, and we can either have like a really good diet or a pretty bad diet. And it's very important that we have a well-rounded diet so that we can have everything in our body that we need. It's very important that we eat the food enough and well enough. We have to chew it. We gotta bite it enough and digest the food enough and make sure that it goes into our bodies enough. We gotta make sure that we eat enough, like 4 times a day. And sometimes fat people eat 2 times a day. And we tend to store more fat in our bodies when we don't eat enough. When we don't eat like more than 2 times a day. Because our bodies tend to think that we're gonna die, we're going to starve, and we go into that starvation mode. Like when you're in a desert, or you're in some kind of situation where you don't have a lot of food, like during the winter, back in the cavemen era. You know, like a long time ago, if there wasn't a lot of food, you would have to store it somehow, and sometimes you gotta store it inside your body, inside your fat. And that's what the fat is for. The fat is very important, and we should have at least 10% of body fat in our body. So if we don't have enough fat, then it's not very good. Now, there are some foods that are really good for us. You can look at the food pyramid, and it will tell you that the most important food that we need is at the bottom. But first I want to tell you about fish. Now, fish helps with hearts and brains. It helps us with our hearts and our brains, and so it helps us stay away from problems that may kill us, may give us like some kind of heart disease, heart attack, and helps us think. And that's really good. We want to be able to think. It has the fatty acids, it has the omega-3s and omega-6 and omega-9s. It has vitamin D, which is for the bones. Vitamin D helps with the calcium and phosphorus. And some of the best fish includes salmon, albacore, tuna, oysters, sardines, mackerel, wild rainbow trout, shark, and herring. Whole grain food is very important. Whole grain, wheat, bread, noodles. I'm talking whole grain, not just like partial grain or the kind of grain that's not whole. Normally we eat not whole grain, but whole grain lowers the risk of heart diseases and stroke. And it helps by delivering zinc, selenium, and phytochemicals into the body. But we usually eat grains that are not whole and that lacks the vitamins and nutrition that our body needs, which only makes things worse. It only makes things worse because we don't have the right kind of bread or wheat or grain in our body, and it's very important that we have it. In some countries like America, we eat too much grain. We have too much like wheat, things like that in our diet. We have cereal and donuts and bread and pastry, and our diet revolves around wheat. But then, they say too much of anything can hurt or kill you. And so you gotta have a well-rounded diet. Bananas are really good. Bananas is a fruit, and it has potassium, and it helps you wake up in the morning, and it just gives you energy. Nuts improves brain functions. It really does improve brain functions. It helps us think better. It protects us from heart diseases, lowers cholesterol. We usually don't eat enough nuts in our diets. It's very unfortunate. But even for me, I know it's good, but it tends to cost more money, so I don't eat it. But I should. Beans helps our bones, and it helps heal infections. They can fill us up. It's a good source of protein. It includes vitamin C, calcium, selenium, zinc, folate. Cooked soybeans have about 28 grams of protein and about 22 grams of edamame has about 22 grams of protein in a 1 cup serving. And so 1 cup is equal to the protein you'll find in 3 ounces of meat. And soybeans are different from the other beans because they have substances called isoflavones that act like estrogen and may help prevent some types of cancer. Sweet potatoes and orange vegetables like carrots helps with our vision, helps us see better. And it helps with fighting infection. They include, some of the stuff that's inside these vegetables and potatoes include vitamins A, B6, C, potassium, fibers, and phytochemicals. Now, the red, blue, and purple grapes fights cancer and heart disease. It's a little better than just the green grapes. The red berries protects us from cancer. Red berries protects us from cancer. And nobody wants cancer, man. So, the blueberry fights cancer and heart disease. It does cell protection, lowers inflammation, and it does some immune system enhancer. It helps with the immune system. And the red berries protects us from cancer. Dark green vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, collard greens, they fight diseases. They include vitamins A, C, E, calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Tea fights cancer and inflammation, swelling. Contains phytochemicals, anthocyanin, and proanthocyanins. There are 2 kinds of vitamins. There's number 1, water-soluble, and number 2, lipid-soluble. Number 1, the water-solubles includes vitamin C and B. It's dissolved from fruits, vegetables, and grains. These vitamins enter the blood faster than the lipid-soluble vitamins. They also exit just as fast. They must be replenished daily and more often than lipids. We need the water-soluble vitamins more than the lipid-soluble vitamins. So the lipid-soluble vitamins are carried in the protein. They need the help of the proteins in order to get through the body. They take more time to get into the body, into the blood. And you'll find them in calcium and vitamin D, and they help with the bones. And so you can find them in milk, cheese, butter, dairy, oils. It helps with the blood protection. It helps with clotting. Vitamin K. That's what I want to tell you. Vitamin K helps with the blood clotting, the blood protection. The body usually has plenty of lipids stored in our fats. We should replenish on lipids weekly and not necessarily daily. Water-soluble vitamins are more important on a daily basis. B vitamins help release other enzymes from food into the body. Other B vitamins help our bodies use those enzymes. Vitamin C fights infections and makes collagen, which is, for our bones and for our teeth. It helps with wound healing. When you get a cut, get an injury, and you need to heal, it helps with that. The main structure of protein in connective tissues have collagen. So it makes up to 35% of our body mesh. So it's very important to have collagen in our body. So vitamin C is very important, but vitamin C is more important when you are sick. Vitamin A improves vision and helps make white blood cells, which fights off infection, germs, bacteria, virus, sickness. You can find vitamin A in carrots, so it helps with your eyes. So eat a lot of carrots. If you eat a lot of carrots, you might get orange skin, but it would take a lot of carrots, so don't worry about that. Your eyes are very important, so eat a lot of carrots, boys and girls. Vitamin D gathers the calcium and phosphorus for making and maintaining bones. Old people tend to need more calcium in their diet, and vitamin D and phosphorus in order to make strong bones. And so you can find calcium, vitamin D, phosphorus. You can find them in milk and dairy products, cheese, butter. So milk is pretty good, as long as the milk is good and the cows don't have any mad cow diseases or anything crazy like that. Sometimes there's a lot of chemicals that are put into the cows, and then that can hurt the people that drink milk. Especially in America, there's a lot of hormones that are added to the cows, and the cows become bigger, then they can get more milk, and then they can make more money because they're selling more milk, because the cows are a lot fatter. But then the hormones in the cows and in the milk get into our body and makes us age faster, makes us get older faster. And so the kind of milk we drink can affect us. It can hurt us, it can damage us, and make us look older. And that's why Asians tend to look younger, because they tend to have less of that hormonal milk that's found in some of those countries like America. That's one of the reasons why Asians tend to look younger. It's also because Asians have better diets normally, except for they tend to lack nuts. A lot of the time, Asians need to eat more nuts, at least in Vietnam. I live in Vietnam right now in 2015. I've been here for 3 years, and so I observe the diets in Vietnam by Vietnamese people, and it's interesting. It's really, really good, because they tend to eat fish and vegetable and rice, and those things are really good for us. Now, vitamin E is really, really good. It helps with fighting, a lot of crazy diseases like cancer, free radicals, heart diseases, a lot of things like that. You can find vitamin E in vegetables, fruits, juices, grains, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, and chocolate. Dark chocolate is better than milk chocolate. Chocolate is really good. Chocolate is almost like medicine, or a kind of medicine. Vitamins is a kind of medicine too that's very necessary, and you can find the vitamins in food. And it's better for you when you eat the vitamins and other really important things in the food and not just in the medicine or in the pills or in the tablets. It's good to go directly to the source of the food, eat the whole foods, because that's how it was intended to be eaten, and it's a whole lot better when it's that way. So you can find vitamin E in all these kinds of food, and it's an antioxidant, and it fights free radicals, cancer, heart disease, brain decline, immune system decline, and over 50 diseases, and also fights against chain reactions. There can be, reactions that occurs, that comes from the free radicals of all those different diseases. And it helps us when we're lacking enough electrons. Electrons are really, really small, and they're very important, and if we don't have them, then problems happen, and we don't want problems. It's very important to have the right kind of diet, to take care of ourselves. It's very important to take care of the 4 parts of our essence of who we are, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Today I was just talking a little bit about our physical bodies, and we gotta take care of it with diet and exercise and sleep and laughter. Laughing is really good, and mentally with thinking and being lifelong learners. That's very important. We gotta continue to do that and do the most we can to be well-rounded people that help other people with the things that we're good at, the things that we can help, with other people. We can help other people, and there are things that we're really good at, and we know that we're really good at them, and that's our purpose in our lives, the things that we're really good at that can help other people, and especially when we see results in those people, when we help them with whatever that we're good at. But I'm not here to talk about that right now. Just here to talk about food. So eat your veggies, look at the food pyramid, and take care, and goodbye world.